Hi Year 3, I hope you're all keeping well. Welcome to lesson number 2. I can use known multiplication facts to solve other multiplication problems. Okay, first of all, I've got a new maths challenge for you to do in addition to your times table rock stars. Okay, it's called Daily 10. You're going to click on the level first of all, choose your level. I suggest level 3. I'd then like you to go to multiplication. That's what we're concentrating on this week. If you want to look at other ones afterwards, please do. That would be great. Okay, and I want you to choose the 4 times table for today. After that, you can choose whatever one you want to practice. You will be asked 10 questions. You will need a pen and paper to write down your answers. Now, they're quick fire questions and they will flash up on the screen, and then you write down your answers and you can check your answers at the end. 3 seconds in between each question is really, really quick. So I suggest you go for something like 7 seconds or 10 seconds to make sure you've got your brains thinking, or 20 seconds if you want to. It is up to you. Okay, so this is another one that you can go on, and I will put the link for this onto the Google Drive as well. Okay, let's carry on with our lesson now. We're going to be thinking about multiplication magic. Now I'm going to show you a special trick that makes multiplying numbers in the 10 times table really, really easy. Now, sometimes we can be presented with questions that look really, really tricky, but we're going to find a way to make it a little bit easier by drawing a magician's hat. Okay? So we've got a little sum here, which looks like it can be quite tricky, but we can make it a little bit easier. Okay, so you're going to draw a wizard's hat first of all, and look at what it is pointing to. It is pointing to the 6 and the 4. We've ignored this 0 here. So we're going to use your multiplication facts to calculate. So what is 6 times 4? 24. We all know that because we know our 4 times table. If we know 6 by 4, then we know 60 times 4. $60 times 4 equals 240. Have a look at the digits on here. We've got an extra 0 and an extra 0 here. What do you think has happened? Let's have a look at the maths behind all of this. Okay, here's an example. 40 times 3. Again, looks quite tricky, doesn't it? Let's make it a little bit easy for ourselves. Let's draw the wizard's hat, ignoring that 0 and pointing to these 2 digits here. 4 times 3. So we're going to ignore that 0, we're going to ignore the fact that it's a multiple of 10, and we're going to be calculating 4 times 3, which we know is 12. If we're going to put our answers to this question into our hundreds, tens and ones grid, it would look like this. But because in fact this 4 isn't really supposed to be a 4, it's supposed to be a multiple of 10, 40, we need to make sure we move our digits one place to the left. We're multiplying them all by 10. And then we need to add a 0 in as a little placeholder. So 40 times 3 is 120. Let's have a look at this one. This one could be a bit puzzling because when we multiply 4 times 5, it equals 20 and the answer already ends in a 0. Do you think that might change anything? We're going to move our digits one place to the left because we've got that extra 0 there, haven't we? We need to make sure we put it back. So 4 times 5 equals 20, which means 40 times 5 must equal 200. That 0 rule still applies, making sure we move our digits one place to the left to show that it is indeed a multiple of 10. Okay, we've now got some questions for you to have a little go at using your pencil and paper. I suggest before you start these that you draw yourself a little thousands, hundreds, tens and ones grid. Now those who've got whiteboards, I suggest you use your whiteboards. If not, just use some paper, that'll be fine. Okay, remember to draw the little wizard's hat to remind you which numbers to calculate together. And then make sure you move your digits, your answers, one place to the left. We'll do the first one together. So we've got 5 multiplied by 8. Now I know that that equals 40. So I would put my answer in here. Because the question was really 50 times 8, which is a multiple of 10, I know I've now got to move everything one place to the left. So my 4 would go here, my 0 would go in the tens column, and then I would add an extra 0 on the end as a placeholder. So my answer to 50 times 8 would be 400. Pause the video now and then check your answers. Okay, here are all our answers here. Hopefully you got on okay with these ones. These ones here looked a little bit tricky because we've got extra zeros in there. I hope you managed to work out that because we've got the extra 2 zeros, that you needed to make sure that when you had your answer, so for example this first one, 30 times 40, we'll do 3 times 4, which is 12. Because they are both multiples of 10, that means we need to move 2 places to the left because we've got those 2 zeros. So that would have been 1,200 and then adding in 2 extra zeros. If we've taken 2 zeros off at the start, you need to make sure you add 2 zeros on at the end. Okay, let's move on. Oops. Let me pause here because I've gone and put the answers on without putting the original screen on. I do apologise, give me a moment. I do apologise for that year 3. There's always a little mistake I managed to get in there. Okay then, so you've had a little sneaky peek of the answers, but try and be honest with yourselves and pause the video in a moment and see if you can have a go completing this grid on here. So if we know that 2 times 6 equals 12, we also know that 2 times 60 equals 120. So use that fact to complete this fact family on here, and then move on to these ones. Okay, so pause your video and give it a go. And now we will look at the answers properly this time, okay? So here we go. So if we know that 2 times 60 equals 120, then 60 times 2 must also equal 120. And then we've got the related division facts on there as well. And here's our other fact families as well. Okay, let's move on. We've got some more fluency here. Have a little look. Which fact will help you solve 80 times 3? Which one do you think you'll need? Pause the video and now let's look at the answer. Here's of course this one here, because 3 times 8 equals 24. So we'd know the answer would be 240. Okay, next one. True or false? If 4 times 80 equals 320, then 320 divided by 80 equals 40. Pause the video. Let's look at the answer. It is of course false. 320 divided by 80 equals 4. We've now got some more fact families for you to have a little go completing. Pause the video and see if you can complete them for me. Here's your answers. Okay, here's a reasoning for you to do. Erica has written some number sentences about a fact family, but she's made a mistake. Which one is her mistake? And explain what the mistake is. Have a good read of each of them. Write anything down that you need to. Which one is wrong? Pause the video. Okay, and now we'll look at the answers. Okay, it is this one here. 160 divided by 2 equals 8. Oh, what has she done wrong there? She's made a mistake because she's forgotten to add on that extra 0 there. She's forgotten to move her number one place to the left. She's forgotten to make it 10 times bigger. So the correct answer should be 160 divided by 2 equals 80. Okay, here's some problem solving for you. Using the number cards below, create 5 different multiplication or division sentences. So you can use any of these to make your own multiplication or division sentences, and I want 5. Okay, pause the video. And now let's look at an answer or some examples that you could be using. So you could have any of the following on here. You might have some different ones. As long as they make sense and as long as they are correct, that is good, okay? And as long as you've used these cards on here as well. Okay, the next reasoning. We've got this little man here, Hamza, and he says, this array shows a multiplication fact that is related to 2 times 4. Do you agree? Explain why. Pause the video. Let's have a look at the answer. Okay, Hamza is correct because the array shows 20 times 4 or 2 times 40. If you look at the value of each of these, they are 10, not 1, okay? Both of these facts are related facts of 2 multiplied by 4. Okay, then year 3. I have got some more tasks for you to do on here that I'm just trying to find. Okay, this is what your links should look like. I'll put the YouTube link on there as well. We have got, I have got some more work for you that you can do on here as well. Okay, so I'm just going to see if I can try and find it. I'm going to pause the video while I find. Thank you, year 3. Okay, so if you want to do some more challenges, I have put them on the Google Drive. There's some more fluency for you to practice, and then it goes into reasoning and problem solving as well. You don't have to print them out unless you particularly want to. You can have them on the screen, and the answers will also be there for you as well. I shouldn't really stay on that one for too long, should I? So give it a go if you want to do something else. Again, like yesterday, if you feel that the video is enough, then please stick with that, because the video is quite a long one for you to work through as well. Okay, then year 3, that's it for today. I will speak to you tomorrow. Goodbye.